Oceans and Engines by singer and songwriter Nikki follows the eventual end of the romantic relationship between the characters Nikki and Ben, who is played by Peter Adrian Sidarso. The video is told from Nikki's perspective as she reminisces on their time together by returning to different places where the memory of both Ben and their relationship are embedded. The video centers on the idea that memory occupies space, as well as the effect of past love and how it influences the individual's perception of the present. Through the narrative's use of multiple temporalities, as it constantly shifts between the past and present, it demonstrates how Nikki still feels the presence of her past lover. While the music video and song can stand on its own, it's really part of a song trilogy in Nikki's third studio album, Nicole. Each song is accompanied with its own music video and references the same lover as Sidarso plays the recurring role of Ben. Part 1, titled High School in Jakarta, sets up their relationship as they meet in high school during a drama club meeting. And Part 2, Before, involves Nikki visiting her partner in New York during university and realizing something is off. Now, in Oceans and Engines, Nikki has returned to Jakarta, and the lyrics "All I've known is long gone and 10,000 miles away" is a literal reference to the distance between New York and Jakarta, exactly 10,045 miles. These shifts in narrative temporalities are illustrated through the video's various settings. In the first minute, we are immersed in Nikki's bedroom, the same room in high school in Jakarta and before. This presents a sense of continuity and subtly conveys how much time the two have spent together. This space, which was once just Nikki's, and a place where she would fawn over Ben before they even dated, became a place where she felt safe and comfortable enough to have and be in. From here, it transitions to the two sitting on the hood of Nikki's car, a callback to a similar moment in Before. This highlights how both the exterior and interior of the car holds memories. It has been driven to places where memories have developed. Essentially, the car has been with them throughout the entirety of their relationship and will be an aching reminder for Nikki of all the moments they shared both in and around the space of the car. According to Carol Vernalis in her piece, Writing About Music Video, tracing the Inferno, quote, "Music videos can feel like a key driver in our culture." And Oceans and Engines depicts this conventional way of attempting to move on in three ways: social interactions with close friends, the awkward phase of being urged to move on by others around you, and finally, the awareness of the heaviness of the solitude and that it's okay to sit in that hurt. All these stages that Nikki goes through create a sense of relatability that transcends past the American sphere of what we know as dating culture to be, and puts those same elements in a place like Jakarta, emphasizing the foundational aspects of both love and heartbreak can be considered as universal experiences. When viewing the settings as a collective, it illustrates the hold that an individual's mind can have on them. Nikki allows herself to sink back into these memories because of how much space this relationship took up in her life. Now, everywhere she walks, and no matter who she's presently with, the ghost of Ben lingers. And she's never resentful towards their relationship. Rather, she simply wishes it didn't have to end, but she knows she did the right thing by ending it, even if it meant having to sit with what are now just memories and no longer present moments. Additionally, facial expressions, particularly Nikki's, contribute to differentiating between the video's multiple temporalities through an emotional lens. When Nikki is watching Ben dance, she elicits a soft smile. When it shifts to the present day, her expression may seem the same, but it's slightly altered. Her eyes are more glazed over, and any trace of her smile is gone. There's a sense of hurt within her expression, and it's not only because of the absence of Ben, but of that specific memory, and how in that moment she knew their relationship wouldn't last. Another instance where her expressions dictate the change in temporalities is after she gets chased by Ben on the beach. When she sits in her car, the viewer can see how genuine her smile is, signaling the amount of joy Ben brought to her life. And she still feels that warmth today, though her smile is more so for the memory itself. The ability to look back on this past lover with happiness for what he was able to give her points to this idea of bliss that Vernalis explores within the genre of music videos. She notes how they are, quote, dependent on ephemeralities of color, movement, and sound. Similarly, the handshake between Nikki and Ben acts as a recurring gesture throughout their relationship. It serves to illustrate how the two had a language of their own. Essentially, this form of communication was an integral part of their relationship. There are 3 moments in the video where they perform their handshake: in the opening, toward the back half, and once more when they're sitting on the curb outside the nightclub. Each instance not only references that specific point in time, but all of their past moments they shared together. The gesture is a huge part of the couple's identity, and when watching the other two videos in conjunction with this one, the viewer becomes more connected to their relationship. To then see it not work out in Oceans and Engines makes it that much more devastating. The last lyric, "My Great Lost Love," encapsulates this idea of the one that got away, and how something like this handshake will also dissipate from Nikki's life. All that will be left is the memory of the gesture, not the gesture itself. In terms of star image, this video helps to extend Nikki's artistry of implementing real-life experiences into her songwriting. Thus, she's able to craft music videos that convey authenticity while still highlighting elements of creativity. Ultimately, Oceans and Engines leaves room for heartbreak and heartache to be explored. The video and song produce a sense of finality within the relationship that before was in a liminal state of needing to end, but not quite at that point. Through Nikki's constant reflection of both Ben as an individual and the relationship as an entity, the viewer sees Nikki's constant grapple with learning to let go of the individual, while simultaneously recognizing it's okay to revisit past moments of the relationship itself.